Well,
She had Anna in Worcester.
Well, did you and Daddy go with her to Worcester?
No, of course not. No,
I didn't know. That's why
I
I'm
was
asking.
left alone with my father.
In North Amherst. I'll be darned. This is the part that always confused me.
Yeah.
And then Daddy. Well, when did Grandma came back?
Yeah. Came back after he came out of jail.
Yeah.
My father came out of jail. So my mother came back from Worcester with baby Ann.
And he
was
took
a
her.
Baby.
And he took her back.
Yeah.
And they lived in North Amherst. Now, when did your father? Did he die there, or did he leave again?
He died he was working for Alec on the farm.
Yeah.
He went out to get the cows in the afternoon at night, to milk the cows, and he died in the field, heart attack. He had heart trouble, we never knew it, and so he died in the field. They picked him up dead in the field, my father.
He wasn't too old when he died, was he?
50-something.
Oh my goodness. So that left Grandma with everything to do.
Yeah.
There's the telephone. We'll let it ring. When you got older, what was the first job you had? Was that the one in Amherst?
Yeah. Amherst hat shop.
The hat shop.
They made hats there, straw hats they made.
Yeah.
And that was my first job. I didn't know how to thread the needle, and I didn't know nothing about sewing. So I got a job in the shop, put a bands on the hats, men's hats, those.
The Panama?
Yeah, no, the other ones, those stiff ones.
The straw hats. I know what you mean. Yes.
There's a name to them.
I forgot.
So I was putting bands on the hats. I didn't know how to sew at all, but they showed me how to do it, and I had done it right away. There was nothing to it.
How did you get to work? Because that was from North Amherst to Amherst.
Well, there was a trolley car. Them days had a trolley car. I went there, and
do you remember how much you got paid?
I got paid with, I think it was about $4 I came home
a week?
Yeah. Them days there was no day rating or no nothing like that.
$4 a week.
Yeah, $4. Well, then I was making more every week because I was beginning to sew more and more every week because I was learning how to sew.
Oh, piecework.
Yeah, piecework.
I see.
They only paid me what I made. There was no day rating them days.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what it was. So I made more every week, and finally I was making about $8-9 a week. And I lived at home with my mother. So that was all right.
You worked in a hotel somewhere, didn't you?
That was in Springfield. I worked in a hotel.
Yeah. So you went from Amherst to Springfield to work?
Yeah.
How did you get that job?
Well, we went, and my girlfriend and I, we went to Springfield to look for a job.
I see.
Them days, and there was a job in the hotel. They wanted a maid. So, employment office.
Yeah.
They wanted maids. So I went over, and I got a job right away as a maid. I never done any maid work in my life, didn't know nothing about it.
Well, when you
But
lived...
the housekeeper showed me how to make a bed right and how to do a lot of things. She said, make sure you clean it good, you have to move everything, and so clean it good.
That's when you met Uncle Freddie, wasn't it?
Uncle Fred,
Yeah.
5-6 years after.
He has such a nice family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful family. You have no idea.
Did they have a
They
nice...
were Canadians. She hates Canadians. She said they all cheap Canadians. My in-laws were wonderful. They well-to-do and they're private people. They were respected people all over neighborhood there, and a wonderful family. Respected people. Family.
Did they have a big house?
Big house.
Well, of course, with
Lot of room.
10 children.
10 children, a
My
lot of room,
goodness.
a lot of bedrooms. Yeah.
He was proud of you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
He
no.
wasn't ashamed of me because
No.
I look European.
You don't look European.
Oh, yeah, I do too, dear. Yes, yeah.
No.
They can tell I'm European. They said they can tell the way I talk that I'm European.
Well, the little
Can
broken...
you tell a little bit?
The broken English, like Aunt Anne, is
Well,
hard.
I have no business to have any broken English.
No, she doesn't, but she doesn't... You talk better than Aunt Anne does.
Well, I hope so, dear. Yeah.
Aunt Anne went to school in the Amherst
Amherst,
schools?
yeah.
I see.
She went for 8 years and went to school,
Oh, my.
but she got very poor. She was very poor in school. Yeah, very slow learning. Yeah.
Well, when Grandma died, she wanted you to keep an eye on her, didn't she?
Oh yes, she was begging me and my poor mother. She said, "Please take care, Anne, because she really has to have somebody take care of her. She can't really do everything for herself like you do," she says. "So watch over her all the time." So I said, "I will, Mother."
How long was Grandma sick?
But she had asthma for years and years.
I see.
Every so often she had a spell, attack of asthma. And then she couldn't breathe anymore, stop breathing. Well, my goodness. One time I didn't hear her breathing anymore, so I started screaming, Mama! She says, I heard it. She says, all of a sudden,
You scared her back to life.
yeah, she says, all of a sudden I got my breath back. Yeah, she heard me screaming. So, she had a lot of those spells in her life. She got it when she was about 18 years old, she says. She noticed that she had asthma and
Of course, the doctors didn't know that much about it those days.
They didn't know nothing about
Yes.
it. Today they got all kinds of stuff for
Yeah.
asthma.
But I remember her in what was Chester's bedroom afterwards
Yeah.
at the farm
Yeah.
in North Hadley. And I remember going into her bedroom
Yeah.
and,
Well, she was sick then?
yes, just before she died.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember the funeral.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I remember
You
the
were
funeral.
only a little girl. I
I
lift you up, and I said, you want to kiss Grandma goodbye? And yes, so you kissed Grandma goodbye. She was in the casket.
I remember that. I remember
Can you
all the
imagine?
people.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
She used to take you fishing. Remember that?
Oh, sure, sure.
You were only 5 years old.
I remember those things, though.
Yeah,
The one in North Amherst where they had a little footbridge
Yeah.
across the road from
Yeah.
where we lived,
Yeah.
and there was a hill, and I remember picking mushrooms with her one time, and there was a big mushroom, and I went to grab it, and it fell into the water, and I sat there and cried. I said, "Where's my mushroom?"
Oh, yeah.
So I remember fishing with
Yeah,
her.
isn't that cute?
And there's something I remember she gave me. I wish I had it. It was red beads. They looked like raspberries.
Coral beads.
Was that what it was?
Coral beads, dear.
And
I was wondering what happened to them, too.
they broke.
They're very expensive, dear, coral beads.
They broke, and I remember saving for the longest time. I had the little beads,
Yeah.
and I was going to string them. And I guess when I got married, things got
Yeah,
hodgepodge.
me
And
too. I don't know what happened to them.
how I remember those beads. funny the different things you
I know,
remember when
yeah,
you're
yeah,
little.
Yeah.
And I remember the day we were moving, and Daddy was packing all the things into the truck, and I couldn't understand why my daddy was taking my bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a good childhood. They were good to us kids. And I always felt very special with Daddy. He
Yeah,
made so much of me.
You were very special to him. You were the favorite one.
Even when he was sick at Boston Hospital, when they did that operation on his leg,
Yeah.
and little things that I would do, and the nurse would come in and he'd say to the nurse, "My Helen can do anything."
Yeah.
He wanted some Kleenex one time, and you're supposed to have those little boxes of Kleenex by your bed and everything. And the nurse came in and says, "Oh, you have to buy those." And I said, "No way." And I went downstairs and I jumped up and down, and I came back, and my father was grinning. He says, "I knew you'd come back with some Kleenex."
Yeah.
Oh, he was very, very special. Yeah, he was a good daddy.
Henry was telling me, he says, when I was getting married to Helen, Adam comes along and stands in front of me. He says, "You better be good to my daughter." Boy, he was pointing at him. "You better be good to my daughter."
Oh. Yeah, Henry reminds me a lot of Daddy. I think that's what attracted me to him. He's kind and he's a good man. Well, I'm trying to think of some of the other things that it was mostly way back that I'm trying to get to. And I think on the other tape you told me the name of the boat you came over on.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was.
Hamburg. Hamburg. The name of the boat was Hamburg.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Is
Hamburg, Germany. There's Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah.
The boat was named after Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah. So you went from Lithuania on the Hamburg, and you went to New York?
To South Deerfield.
No, but I mean when the boat came to New York or Boston?
From New York.
New York.
We landed in the Ellis Island. And then we waited a whole night for a train to go to South Deerfield.
I see.
We landed in South Deerfield. Then we went to Uncle Barona's. We walked up there. I remember walking there. At Barona's. We stayed there quite a few months. They put us to work right away. I was 10 years old. Right away they put me to weed onions. On the hands and knees, I was crying. I said, "Mama, let's go back." I didn't work when I was in Europe because I was taking care of my brother, my little brother.
Yeah.
Mother had to go to work, so I stayed home and took care of my little brother.
What did your mother do?
My father's work. She was doing all my father's work in the field, raising stuff for us so we could live.
I see.
Like Father did.
Yes.
In the field, plowing and whatever men did, she did it. My poor mother. Yeah.
No wonder the people died so young.
Yeah.
They worked so hard.
She looked so old too. She wasn't old enough to look that old, but she looked awful old. All the wrinkles pulled. 40 years old, all wrinkled up already. Yeah.
How did you get your shoes? There must have been stores where you bought